Hey, what's up, my fearless networking friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. Okay, how many times have you downloaded an app and clicked the I agree to the terms and conditions, I agree to the policies, I agree to, and you got to check those little boxes? We've all done it. We've all downloaded an app or installed a new upgrade or something on it, and you got to scroll through the bottom, these terms, these policies. Let me ask you this question. How many of you ever actually read them? Like actually read through the policies and what you just agreed to when you click that agree button? I would actually love to hear comments from you guys, like when it comes to apps and downloads and things like that. Do you read word for word what you're agreeing to? It's pretty crazy, especially when it comes to downloading applications, things like Facebook Messenger or any whatever it might be, what is stated in those terms. So people are agreeing to do something, but they didn't even read what they agreed to do. And it happens all the time in network marketing. I was taught a long time ago, like, don't be signing any contract until you've read the contract, because when you put your signature to something and you're like, you're signing this contract, you're abiding by that contract. It's assumed that if you signed it and the contract was in front of you, you actually read it and you understood it, which is why you agreed to it and signed and dated on the dotted line. Now let's take this into network marketing. You are an independent contractor, independent affiliate, independent distributor with whatever network marketing or direct sales company it is that you're involved in. And most network marketing companies, when you sign up as an affiliate, rep, distributor, whatever it's called within your company, they will either give you a digital kit. Digital kits are a little more popular these days, but many of them will send you a physical distributor kit. And the physical distributor kit has stuff in it, information about the company, maybe some basic getting started training, maybe some different brochures or information on your products and services. And I was taught a long time ago that this kit was part of our business building experience. What I find is people take the kit and they just toss it and they don't even really go through it, or they might open it up and kind of scan through it. But one of the most important things that's inside of every distributor kit is your policies and procedures that you've agreed to by becoming an independent distributor with that particular company. And so in my mind, being a smart, savvy business person, not somebody who just clicks and agrees, which is quite frankly most people. If you're being smart, you're being savvy, you're doing business the way business should be done, is you're actually reading through and understanding what is it that you've agreed to be an independent contractor or distributor with that company. One thing for sure it'll help you do is it'll help you stay more in compliance. It'll help you to not get in trouble. And most policies and procedures are pretty similar. They've got the same kinds of things in them. Some of them are different. Some companies are much more stringent than others. But what you've got to do, it's your responsibility as an independent representative of that company to know what the rules are. And are you breaking the rules? I got a friend of mine, for example, that's in a very strict direct sales company, one of the strictest there are in the entire profession. In fact, I told him that going in. I said, look, they're an amazing company. They've got longevity in the marketplace. The only thing that you have to be aware of is, can you play by their rules? Because they have some of the strictest rules in the business. Very successful company, over 30 years in business, but they have very, very strict rules. Well, he finds himself in this situation where he's on the phone with compliance all the time. He's got the personal cell phone of the compliance department. Oh, you need to take that Facebook post down. Oh, you need to change that. You got to take this down. That Instagram post, you can't post that. You can't do this. You can't say that. Oh, we had like he was in trouble like constantly, and literally to the point where he's literally got the cell phone number of the head of compliance of that company, and he comes in on caller ID. Okay, I'm in trouble again. So And that's it. And he's a guy that actually read the policies and still is, because of their strictness, is typically finding himself out of compliance, which is kind of scary. But my whole point in this episode is just be smart. Like, you are an independent distributor. You're an entrepreneur who has an agreement with a network marketing company. You need to know what that agreement entails. What can you do? What can you not do? For example, most of them will say you can't use their brand, like whatever. Let's say it's XYZ company. You can't go buy a domain that says XYZ company leaders or XYZ company team, or and then you go and invest the money and you go buy some domain name with their company's name in it, and then they come calling to you and they're like, hey, and you built this whole thing on this website, and you find out you're not even allowed to do that. Well, you would have known had you gone through the policies and procedures. There's also something in most policies and procedures that talk about your responsibility as a sponsor, as an enrolling sponsor. Like, there's a written rule in most network marketing policies and procedures that describe or define what your responsibility is when you enroll somebody. Not just throw them in and slap them up against the wall and keep your fingers crossed and hope they go make you some money. There's more to it. So look, don't sign any contracts without reading the contract. Don't just randomly click and say, I accept the policies or I accept the agreement or whatever. Look at it, read it. It's pretty fascinating. I mean, especially when it comes to our privacy today, how much privacy we're giving up by using different tools that we have out in the marketplace. It's like they can do whatever they want and you're agreeing to it. And it's just, you can either say, look, I disagree, you're not going to use that app. I'm not going to get into specific apps or social media deals, whatever, but it's pretty interesting when you actually read what you're agreeing to. Now, we're not giving up so much of our privacy per se when it comes to agreeing to the policies and procedures of a network marketing or direct sales company, but it's more about what we can do, what we can't do, or what we're allowed to do, what's this absolutely not to do. Do not do this. This will be in a violation of our policies. And you don't want to be in violation of your policies and procedures. You want to be acting within the scope of what they allow you to do. So take the time to look at it. If you have never done it, and it's fascinating, many people I know, I would say most, in fact, have never even bothered to read their policies and procedures. So make it a point. In fact, even going through with a new distributor, if I was working with you and you were a new rep on my team, I would say, hey, make sure you pull out the policies and procedures and you go through them. And because I knew the policies and procedures, I would say, hey, make sure you pay attention to 5A, 16C. There's a few of them that you definitely want to make sure, you want to read through the whole thing, but just make sure you understand them clearly, because we want to make sure you're staying in compliance, because that's an agreement that we have between us, the independent distributor, and the company that we become an independent distributor for. So make it part of what you do. You should be doing, if you haven't done it, it's not too late, go do it today. I'd be curious, seriously, if you're willing to be honest with me in the comments section, depending on where you're finding this, whether it's on YouTube or my website, toddfalcone.com, or maybe you're on my podcast. If you want to see the rest of the details that go along with this episode, if you go to toddfalcone.com/episode 50, that's TODDFALCONE.com/episode 50. You can see the rest of the details. Please give me your comments. Have you read them? And what did you find in them? Did you, and maybe if you haven't read them, come back after you read them and go, wow, holy smokes, Todd, I had no idea what was even in my policies and procedures. So love to hear from you guys on that. I will see you on a future episode. It's real important. We got to make sure that we are doing what we've agreed to do, that we've kind of signed off essentially on the dotted line, many people without reading them. So read your policies and procedures, abide by them, and you won't have any problems as a network marketing distributor. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.